Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 3 of my FIFA 16 Swansea City Career Mode. Now in this episode we're going to make our, start to the campaign for the English Premier League. Now the board does want a top 4 finish pretty much, so they did say a Champions League spot, so yeah, top 4 effectively, and yeah, it's going to be very, very tough, especially if how the Premier League is these days. There's so many teams that can contend for it, and as we saw last year, Norwich were there and abouts, like in terms of maybe even winning the title. In real life, you got Leicester, so I mean it's not impossible, but I mean we're taking on Spurs. It's going to be a huge challenge for us to get a result, especially with the preseason we had. It hasn't been the most impressive, but I'm pretty confident. We've brought in Rafinha. I think he'll make a big difference. He hasn't played in any of the previous games as well. He's only just arrived, as well as Velasquez. He's not really a first team player, but he will be a good backup, I think. Now speaking of the game, hasn't been too many chances to start off the game, and I'm not really looking to sort of show just random shots of goal from like 40 yards out that the computer does sometimes. I don't really feel that's needed, but I will show proper highlights and that sort of stuff, like this chance right here, Pritchard. I don't really know who he is. I'm assuming he's obviously he's a real life player, but I don't know if he's in and about the Spurs side, but he's playing right here and he scored a goal, and he actually seems like a pretty decent player. Now that little cross there, it didn't nearly turn into a goal. Now the reason I showed that clip is because in Ultimate Team I actually did score a goal very, very similar to that. Now I think it was Isgrove was actually making a good run there. We didn't find him initially, but Sigurdsson ends up on the ball there and he takes a shot, and that's a great save by Vorm. But I really think Isgrove did not need to lay that ball off. He should have just taken a shot, and hopefully as we get used to playing Isgrove and that sort of stuff, we'll gain some more confidence into whether we should shoot, whether we should dribble and that sort of stuff. That's what I find. That's sort of the hardest part for career mode for me, is getting used to players. It's the same for Ultimate Team, just same for everything on FIFA. Every player sort of has their own little feel to it, and I mean not every player. You get some players who feel pretty similar and you can sort of work with all the time, but yeah, every player sort of has their strengths, some dribbling, shooting, that sort of stuff, and it's up to you to work out exactly what's the best way to use them. Do you just run down the wing, cut back inside, that sort of stuff. But Spurs really should have put that ball away there and been up 2-0. That would have killed off the game, but I was still within a chance and we really went for it, but we didn't even have another highlight. We did make some substitutions, that sort of stuff, which shows that we were going for it, we were trying something, but as you can see there, the Spurs ended up winning. They only had one shot on target, which was their goal, as opposed to our 2 shots on target, but you can see not a lot of shots being taken. Very, very defensive based games, which is a little bit weird considering our side is mostly an attacking sort of formation, and like I've said in previous episodes, I think maybe in this episode, we haven't really been feeling this sort of formation. It's just not working for me this year, well this season I should say. But one positive, even though we lost that game, but a positive that John Joe Shelby decided to re-sign, and Ki Sung Young didn't play in that last game, but we did get an offer for I can't remember what it was, but we've asked for 14.5 million. Same goes for Sigurdsson, an offer for him, and we're going to ask for 20 million. He's not really someone who I'm looking to sell, but this Connor Roberts guy is. Now we asked for 14.5. They came back, and this is Stuttgart. They came back and said 13 million. I'll take 13.5 for Ki Sung Young. He's only a backup, and we could do with the funds. As you can see there with the Spurs game, we got completely dominated, and I do think we need to sort of change something up. We need to, I don't know, bring on a few more players. Just need to make our squad more complete. We've got a few good players here and there, but I really would love to make our squad really strong overall. Now we've got a lot of good attackers and that sort of stuff. We've also got a lot of pretty average sort of players as well in the side, and for a top 4, an aspiring top 4 side I should say, we need to do a lot better, and Newcastle should be a side that we are beating. They have signed on that Chupong, I don't know exactly his name, but he's from the Bundesliga. I think he plays for Schalke possibly. He's a striker and he actually seems like a good player. He's got height, he's got really good placing. See him on the ball currently here, takes a shot and he puts it wide, thankfully for us. Now that might be his downfall, shooting wise, probably not that good, because I know his rating is like high 70s or whatever, so I mean there has to be some sort of flaw in him, right? Because face value says he doesn't really have a flaw. But Rafinha doing some great work there. Jefferson Montero takes a shot, and it was a weak shot, otherwise I think that would have been a goal there. Now I think Tim Krul was actually looking to leave Newcastle, so maybe he's a little bit unsettled. Maybe we can take advantage of that. But Isgrove cutting back inside there from the right midfield position there, the right wing, and unfortunately for us it was saved, or it went wide or whatever. Now we were looking for a formation change. You can see there we end up going to a 4-3-3 attack. The only thing is we haven't really got proper players who are, wingers. See, Isgrove is a right mid by default. I know there's not a huge difference, but I mean, all it takes is just dribbling stats, something like that. I feel wingers are a little bit better than the right midfields. You can get away with having some slower players there, that sort of stuff, but it is effectively the same position. But right here we have a perfect opportunity. Carlos Eduardo shoots, and it's off the post there. Tim Krul actually got his hand to it, and he saves the day there for Newcastle. Really, that was a perfect opportunity for us, and we should be finishing that. And I was very, very annoyed at Carlos Eduardo, but that's not where the play's going to end. He's going to have a chance to redeem himself minutes or seconds later, I should say, and another shit shot. I'll say another, but the first one was actually okay, but the second one was pretty terrible. Now, Lopez, our right back, coming in field there. He does take a few runs. I like to run in field with the right backs and left backs to cut back inside, but see right there, I think it was maybe Montero again, maybe it was Rafinha this time. He takes a shot, but it was saved, and Gabriel finds himself on the ball here. 90th minute, can we get a shot off? Lopez takes a shot, and that is a brilliant save there by Tim Krul. And Lopez, our right back, he found himself on the edge of the box there, and I thought that was in. I thought that was going in, and you can see there Newcastle actually got more shots away. You can see they only had the one shot on target, which is probably more of a better stat, and probably says that we defended pretty well. But yeah, I thought we were kind of hard done by not to get a winner there. But I suppose we've got to start finishing those chances. We've got to start being a lot more clinical now. Training, I haven't showed any training so far this season, but Montero there moves into the 79s. Now, these aren't the same people I use every single time, sort of rotate people. But yeah, Montero moves to 79, which is quite nice. And Ki Sung-Young looks like he might be making a move. 13.5 million, they have decided to match it. Sigurdsson wasn't so lucky, they didn't want 20 million. 15.5 is what they offered, but I think we went for 18.5. That's all we'll take. He might not be that worth that much to them, but he is to us. But yeah, Ki Sung-Young, he's left, so we've got a fair bit of money to work with now. We did have a pretty good balance to start off with, but we have to keep some money aside for Coria at the end of the season, so I really need to keep him. I really want to keep him, and I assume should we, the deal that we've got for 10 million or whatever, if he goes back to Atletico, we're just going to have to pay even more than that. So I think we should just try and hang on to that 10 million. Now, coming into this game, there is a change in formation. We've gone for the 4-1-2-1-2. I think the one without the left mid and right mid, the one with the two centre mids instead. And yeah, the reason being is I just want to try and flood the midfield a little bit, and also we can have the fullbacks. I like attacking with the fullbacks, so it kind of gives them room to move with. We still got that width because we're going to have them attacking, but at the same time, we still got a lot of people around the ball at all times, because I want to play a possession-based game, which I was using the high pressure thing, high pressure setting with the other formation, which I don't think works too well. It's more of an online sort of setting, in my opinion, mentality, whatever it's called. Now Lopez, that's a great little ball there by Coria, and Lopez is cutting back inside, lays the ball off to Coria, and Coria smashes it home there, and we are 1-0 up against Hull, and we're looking on track to win our first game of the Premier League season. It might take 3 games, but so far so good this episode. It's actually been a really good performance by us. Now Hull, I wouldn't say they're the best of sides, so definitely it's the same sort of scenario with Newcastle. Newcastle are a better side, obviously, than Hull on this game. I think Hull just been promoted or whatever this season to the Premier League, but yeah, we should be definitely getting a win here, and that's exactly what we're looking like we're going to do. Rafinha doing some good work there. He's in the lone cam spot, which is probably his best position for me. He is centre mid by default, but I really think he's a cam, and for whatever reason they have him on there. But Gabriel, he did start in this game, and he has come off injured. Now I think he's done something to his ankle, but I think he's out for about 4 weeks. Now Zuccolini, he takes a shot, and there was a deflection there, and it does result in a corner, and there is a header straight at the keeper. So we did have a pretty good opportunity. Obviously the header, we got a header away, and unfortunately we couldn't get the ball into the back of the net. But Hull looking to score here, and actually going to go very, very close. It falls back to the Hull defenders there, and that is a great save there by Valdez, and we end up winning the game. Thankfully we get away with that one. Now it wasn't the best performance, but it definitely was a huge improvement on the previous games, and even though we went for a possession based game, obviously we didn't win the possession, but what we did win was the game, which is the most important thing. Now Coria here ended up picking up man of the match. That's pretty understandable considering he got the goal, but I was very, very happy with our defense, which is really nice. Being a little bit sloppy, and it's just nice to have a little bit more players around at all times because of the formation change. I just really like the formation we're working with. Anyways, that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke YT, Facebook page in the description below, and I'll see you for my next video. See you later, guys. Bye.